Gizelle Bryant and Andy Cohen were texting all day about Karen Huger's sentencing. Season 9 of Real Housewives of Potomac saw Karen Huger taking zero accountability for her DUI. As this was not her first DUI charge, in December 2024, the courts handed down a conviction of guilty. At her sentencing, Karen received 2 years in jail with 1 year suspended. Once released, Karen cannot drive for 1 year. She also must pay $2,900 in fines. Her friend and RHOA co-star, Gizelle Bryant, is shocked. As is Andy Cohen, who, according to Gizelle, texted her after the sentencing news broke. Karen Huger received a jail-heavy sentence, sending Gizelle Bryant and Andy Cohen into a texting frenzy. Gizelle is concerned for Karen. She explained during her 21 Shady Questions live event at City Winery. She knows Karen is not cut out for jail, so Gizelle prays that the Lord is with her. Likewise, Gizelle plans to join the Lord by visiting Karen, as Gizelle then recalls discussing this topic with Andy. Once this much-anticipated sentencing sounded, Gizelle and Andy took to their cell phones, where they remained all day long. Gizelle says that she and Andy were going back and forth because we knew that the sentencing was getting ready to happen. So we're like, oh my God. He's like, oh my God. Then it happened, and we're both giving our feedback on it, Gizelle explained. One of the last things he said to me is, when this show started 9 seasons ago, never in my wildest dreams would I think that any of the ladies would be going to jail for 5 minutes, let alone a year, Gizelle added. Poor Andy. He has a right to his feelings. I can count multiple Real Housewives who have had to go away, as Teresa Judas labels. He serves her time. Nevertheless, Karen is now the next name on this list. And when Karen exits jail, we hope she presents as fully accountable for her actions. Part 3 of the Season 9 reunion for Real Housewives of Potomac airs this Sunday at 8/7 on Bravo. The news of Karen Huger's sentencing sent shockwaves through the Real Housewives of Potomac RHOP community, with Gizelle Bryant and Andy Cohen at the epicenter of the frenzy. The reality TV world thrives on drama, but this real-life consequence was a different level of intensity, one that had both Gizelle and Andy glued to their phones for hours on end. Season 9 of RHOP had already been packed with tension, especially surrounding Karen's DUI case. She had been steadfast in her refusal to take accountability, brushing off concerns and even deflecting responsibility onto others. However, when the court handed down a guilty conviction in December 2024, reality hit hard. The judge sentenced Karen to 2 years in jail, suspending 1 year, and revoking her driving privileges for an additional year post-release. Additionally, she was ordered to pay $2,900 in fines, a substantial penalty that signified the seriousness of her repeated offenses. Gizelle Bryant, Karen's longtime frenemy and fellow cast member, couldn't believe what she was hearing. The moment the news broke, she found herself in a state of disbelief. As she later recounted at her 21 Shady Questions live event at City Winery, I was sitting there thinking, this can't be real. Karen is not cut out for jail. I just keep praying that the Lord is with her. Almost immediately, Gizelle reached for her phone, needing to process the information with someone who understood the gravity of the situation. That person was none other than Bravo executive and Housewives mastermind, Andy Cohen. She texted him first, and to her surprise, he was already in the loop. We were texting all day, Gizelle recalled. We knew the sentencing was about to happen, so we were both on edge. Every few minutes we were like, oh my God, what's happening? And then, when the sentence came down, we both just sat there, trying to take it in. Andy, who has seen more than his fair share of housewives scandals, was particularly shaken. He has overseen every major legal drama within the franchise, from Teresa Judas's fraud case to Jen Shah's telemarketing scam, but Karen's sentencing still managed to shock him. One of the last things he texted me was, When this show started 9 seasons ago, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that any of the ladies would be going to jail for 5 minutes, let alone a year, Giselle revealed. For Andy, the idea of a grand dame behind bars was surreal. The Housewives franchise is known for its lavish lifestyles, extravagant feuds, and unforgettable catchphrases. But prison sentences are a different beast entirely. While previous legal troubles within the franchise had largely stemmed from financial crimes, Karen's case involved public safety. Multiple DUIs showed a pattern of recklessness that the court simply could not ignore. As news of the sentencing spread, reactions poured in from fans, cast members, and housewives from other cities. Some expressed sympathy, while others pointed out that Karen had multiple chances to change her behavior. Regardless of opinions, the consensus was clear: this was a serious wake-up call. Within the RHOP cast, reactions were mixed. Robin Dixon, who had experienced her own fair share of conflicts with Karen over the years, expressed concern. "I hope she takes this time to reflect and make some changes. It's never too late to turn things around," she said during a segment on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live. Candiace Dillard-Bassett, never one to hold back her thoughts, was more blunt. "Actions have consequences. Karen is not above the law," she stated in an interview. "I hope she finally understands that." Maya Thornton, on the other hand, took a more supportive approach. "I'm heartbroken for her," she said in an Instagram live session. "We all make mistakes. I just pray she comes out of this stronger." Despite the chatter, it was clear that the person most affected by all of this was Karen herself. Known for her poise and signature wit, she now had to face an undeniable reality. Jail time was no longer a hypothetical, it was happening. And as much as she had tried to maintain a facade of control, this was one situation where charm and social status could not save her. As for Giselle and Andy, their conversation continued well into the night. They speculated about what this would mean for Karen's future, for RHOP, and for the franchise as a whole. Would Karen be able to make a triumphant return, like Teresa Giudice did after her release? Or would this mark the beginning of the end for the Grand Dame's time on Bravo? "I know Karen," Giselle mused during her event. "She's resilient, but I also know this isn't going to be easy for her. I wouldn't wish jail on anyone." Andy, ever the producer, was already thinking ahead. Would Karen be open to documenting her post-prison life on the show? Would Bravo executives even want to take that route? There were so many questions, and for once, even he didn't have all the answers. While Karen served her time, life on RHOP would move forward. The Season 9 reunion, set to air just days after her sentencing, would undoubtedly address the elephant in the room. Bravo cameras had captured every moment leading up to this, and fans were eager to see how Karen herself had responded in real time. As Giselle wrapped up her event at City Winery, she left the audience with one final thought. "At the end of the day, we're all human. We make mistakes. I just hope Karen takes this opportunity to grow and come back stronger. Because Lord knows, Potomac won't be the same without her." The saga of Karen Huger's DUI case had reached its climax, but its aftermath was only just beginning. Would Karen emerge from this experience with a renewed sense of responsibility? Would the RHOP cast rally around her, or would old feuds resurface? And most importantly, would the Grand Dame reclaim her throne? Only time would tell. But one thing was for certain: this was a housewife scandal that no one, not even Andy Cohen, saw coming.